Welcome to another episode of the Eric Crocker Show. I am your host, former NFL and AFL defensive back, and of course, as always, typically on Mondays, today on Tuesday, we are joined by Ashley to talk all things San Francisco 49ers against the Philadelphia Eagles. And y'all probably can't tell you, I'm a little fired up about something. All right, but first, you know what? I want to ask you, Ashley, how was your Thanksgiving?
You cut out right there at the end. How was what?
Oh, your Thanksgiving.
It was really good. It was good. It was nice to be around family. How about you? You went to Vegas.
So Thanksgiving Day, the day the San Francisco 49ers beat up on the Seattle Seahawks, was actually not just Thanksgiving, but it was my anniversary, 8-year anniversary with my wife. Shout out to Mrs. Crocky. And we wanted to kind of celebrate a little bit. We actually had other plans, but she did a little detour because I had a few kids that I trained that played for, a couple played for San Jose State, a couple played for UNLV. So, she was like, okay, you can go to the San Jose State versus UNLV game, which was in Vegas. And then we had a good time in Vegas. So that was cool. Had a good time. Spent a little money with the wife, but it was all good. What made it better was I made some money. Underdog Fantasy. You can't even play Underdog Fantasy in Vegas. I put in some plays before we went to Nevada and came up on a lot of money. Then came up on a lot more money on the way back. So shout out to Underdog Fantasy. If you guys want to get involved with that, go to Underdog Fantasy or underdogfantasy.com. Use promo code Crocky. And if you're on Twitter, follow me on Twitter at Eric_Crocker, and you can find a lot of my plays on there. I've been making some people some money. All right, we've been making some money. So Underdog Fantasy, use promo code Crocky. They'll double your deposit up to $100. We didn't get a chance to talk about the 49ers Eagles game, but really, 49ers Seahawks game, both birds. But that's behind us now. All right, we're on the and the Eagles are up. Now, I got to start off with this, okay?
Okay.
I went to a 49ers Eagles game a couple years ago. And I touched on it a little bit on Locked On 49ers, come at you 5 days a week, myself, Brian Peacock. All right. I touched on it a little bit. But on social media, I am under the impression that people either from there or that be there assume that the only tough people are people in Philadelphia. That's how at least how it comes off to me. You know what I'm saying? And y'all know I always talk. I'm from Stockton, California. And I'm not saying we got the toughest people. I'm not saying I'm the toughest guy. But I do know one thing about growing up and being from here, Stockton. You can't be no punk. You can't be no bitch. Like, you just can't. You know what I'm saying? So, for whatever reason.
Was it on the Cowboys? Who made like a really good play on Sunday? And you were on Twitter and you were like, 209, 209, 209.
Oh, Deron Bland. He from Modesto, though. So, it's a little different than Stockton, but yeah, he from Modesto. But Brandon Cooks, he scored a touchdown. He from Stockton. He went to Lincoln.
There you go.
All right. But it's crazy because when I was there, and we got to set the stage for everybody. All right, we got to set the stage. I ain't thinking about nothing. Like, I'm 36 years old. I'm just trying to watch a football game. But I like to have fun a little bit, talk a little trash or whatever. Y'all know me. All right. I can kind of get a little, trash talk. All
You've
that
gotten spicy.
I get a little spicy, but it's all in fun. We're in Philadelphia. Everybody's like, oh, we're gonna meet up at the Rocky statue or whatever. And it's like, okay, whatever, we'll show up or whatever. 49er fans start putting flags and stuff on Rocky. And I'm like, this is actually kind of funny. Let me get my phone out and record it. So like I recorded it, thinking like it's this funny thing. Well, it gets picked up by everyone. Any 49ers blogger thing, they ask, hey, can I use your video? Can I use your video? Like, yeah, it's cool. Their local news stations picked it up. Hey, can we use your video? Yeah, it's cool. I don't care. All right. Now, in the process of that, you had people reach out to me and started like threatening me, right? Like, oh, y'all do this, blah, blah, blah. You better keep that outside. They're going to do this to you. They're going to do that to you. They're going to throw batteries at you. Oh, those people going to beat you up. You're going to be in the stadium. They're going to be. Everybody is telling me about what somebody else, I don't even know who is they. I guess it's just the fans in general. But everybody's telling me that they're going to, like, what's going to happen to me? Because I'm at this day, I'm in Philadelphia, and they get rowdy or whatever. So naturally, Me, again, not looking
Sorry.
for no fights, not looking for any of that. But I ain't no punk bitch. So if you tell me you're gonna do something, I'm gonna test the theory out. So me, my bro Donald, my dog Mike Andrews, nothing but Niners. We are in the stands and we are talking the entire game. I'm telling them shut up. I'm telling them and I'm only doing this because everybody told me what was gonna happen to me. So I
I feel
gotta
like
test
I've
the
also
theory
heard
out.
this rumor that that you should like not wear red. Like I heard it's like a
Yeah,
bit.
this is what I came away with. I think, and this I get it. My bro Donald tattoos on his face, dread stuff like that. You know me, I'm tatted up. Maybe we look a certain way, so they're like, "All right, we not gonna mess with this guy." And again, I don't know. I'm not saying I'm toughest guy. All I'm saying is they told me what was
Doctors
gonna
out there
happen to me.
like
They said they were gonna beat me up. They was gonna throw batteries at me. So I wanted to see. So I'm talking the whole game. I'm talking trash. Y'all sorry. Be quiet. Like, man, y'all real quiet. I got videos. Oh, they're real quiet. Videos showing all of them. They're real quiet. I got the videos. I got everything. It's on Twitter. And then after the game, everybody went to the little area. 49er fans are turned up. They telling everybody, go home. Y'all sorry. And nothing happened. So I'm not saying that they don't get rowdy in Philly. I think Philly got tough people, just like anybody got tough people.
yeah.
But I will say this exaggeration of it, or however people think it's supposed to happen to everybody, I don't know that. Because that was not my experience. So I talked about it a little bit on Locked On, and people are like, "Oh, well, you were just in the wrong section. Why do I got to be in the right section? Like, I don't. Why does it have to be a certain section?
Yeah. There's like one section where there's the scary fans.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. And again, I'm not looking for trouble. I'm not looking to fight. They just told me what they was gonna do to me. So if you tell me that, then okay, like we'll see. Nothing happened. All right, let's go. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was a good game. 49ers won that time. And all right, see you guys next time. And I would love to just go and chill in the stands and have fun and watch the game, win or lose, have a good time. Great. Right. You pay a lot of money for this stuff. Anybody trying to fight or get beat up in the stands. I know I don't want to get fight or get beat up in the stands. But again, I'm gonna test the theory out. Like if you're telling me, if people are telling me what is going to happen to me, I gotta test it out. That's not me being some gangster. That's not me saying I'm hard. That's not me saying I'm the toughest dude on the planet. But they told me what was gonna happen. I tested the theory out. Nothing happened, and then we can move on. All right. So let's move
I have
on
a
from that.
question. I have a
Yeah.
question. But were they losing? So like, is it something where when they're winning they can talk tough? Maybe. I
I
feel like
again.
I've heard those rumors since last year when the 49ers were going to NFC Championship. I feel like that I don't know if it's just is it just rumors then? Because I feel like I saw that on social media like, hey fans, be careful, like don't wear red. All the 49ers players were saying like they weren't gonna bring their wives. I think Sydney Warner said that like she saw like fans throwing stuff at babies and she was scared to be there and
Yeah, I
Brandon
don't know.
Ayuk's girl said she could only wear black.
I
Like a whole
I
thing.
don't know if it's a rumor. I'd assume this. I see fights. We're all on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. All right. Like I see fights at every stadium. I see fights at the 49ers stadium. The 49ers,
Yeah,
I
we
don't
saw
know.
that like a game ago. Remember, it was like pregame.
They're fighting. Like the people throwing blows, really fighting in the stands. They fight each other. They
Oh,
fight
that's
other
good.
teammates. Other fans or whatever. So I don't know. I think sometimes you do get this, especially East Coast. I think they get like this reputation for like, you know, like in Philly, like maybe they got some mobsters or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You up that way, you got the Italians and all that. So like I get it, but I don't
I'm
know. I don't think
Italian.
it's just a rumor. I think there
Very
probably
cross.
are people that will try you. I just think it's exaggerated a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I probably could have just been there. Would have been somebody that would have maybe tried to fight me or something somewhere in the stadium. It just happened to not be where I was at, and I think it's just it's a little exaggerated. But I think that would be anywhere, right? Like remember Oakland, they tell you, oh man, you go to an Oakland Raiders game, like the black hole. It could get a little rowdy in the black hole. I think it can get rowdy at every stadium.
That makes
I think
sense.
it can get rowdy in every
Are
stadium.
you gonna
So
go to? I saw you on Twitter asking people for tickets. Are you gonna try to go to
no,
this?
I'm not going. I'm not going. I got my daughter this weekend, And yeah, I'm not going. But I would like to go. I would like to go. If someone were to give me a ticket, I would 1000% go.
Are
I
the
go.
tickets crazy?
What? It's like four something for standing room.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tickets is
I like
outrageous.
how you slid that in there, though. You're like, if anyone just wants to
If they want to
slide it
give me a
over, I
ticket,
wouldn't
because
say
again,
no.
travel, hotel,
There you
rental
go.
car, whatever, like that stuff could get pricey, and it's not like I'm not broke. Like if I want to go, I can go,
Yeah.
but do I want to go that bad? And it's like nah, I don't know if I want to go that bad. But if somebody's like, "Hey, Croc, I got a ticket for you," that's incentive for me. Okay, you got a ticket? Well, damn, babe, I kind of gotta go. You got a ticket for me? It gives me like incentive to.
Yeah. I like that. I like that.
Shout out to
Mhm.
everybody in the chat right now. We got some Philadelphia fans in there. It looks like we got some Philly folks in the stands. Shout out to in the stands in the chat. Shout out to everybody, all the Niner fans out there this morning. We got Philly the podcast. Let's go. He says it's gonna be a great game, huh? Uh, let's talk about
So
this game,
excited.
because the way I view Philadelphia right now is a team that is extremely battle tested. That's the first word that comes in my mind when I watch the Eagles Bills game. I know a lot of people want to say the refs and all that, and again, I'm not saying that the refs don't help or whatever, but you can't rely on the refs to either save you or help you win the game. You can't. So the calls went the Eagles' way in that game, but ultimately, I think the Eagles put themselves a lot of times in position to be able to maybe not just get the calls, but like capitalize on them. Like you still have to capitalize on them. The refs didn't kick a 59-yard field goal.
That's what I was gonna say. The horse collar on Josh Allen that everyone's mad about. I think it's fair to be mad about it, but that was in the second quarter, right? So it's like
It was
you
very
can't
early in the
say
game,
you
and it
can't
was
say
weird
that.
because and again, maybe they say it by the rule it's horse collar because he did grab the back of his collar, but he also grabbed the front of him. So he kind of pulled him down. Like it wasn't like Josh Allen's just running this way and somebody just yanked him down from behind. It was like he was kind of on the side and he grabbed the back of his collar and the front and then tackled him down
Yeah.
that way. At least that's what it looked like to me. I don't want to make excuses for Philly, but that's what it looked like. So I actually kind of thought it was a good no call. I think a lot of people uh, kind of disagree with that and feel like the Eagles got a bulk of the good calls. On paper, that's what it looks like. But to me, watching it,
What
I
I was gonna say though is even if it was a bad call, to me, at least for the 49ers, not speaking about the Bills game, you don't want you don't want to leave the game up to a few calls. You don't want to lose the game and say, well, in the second quarter, they had that one bad call. It's like, okay, we have 2 quarters left. You can try to make something happen. And I'm not saying I think Josh Allen did amazing and that the Bills offense is just kind of atrocious. But I'm saying for this 49ers team, I think it's going to be really important for them to play a clean game. But I also think if they do have a mistake, we've kind of seen this year this team anytime that they've had an offensive possession that hasn't ended in a field goal or a touchdown, you can trace it back to a penalty or a sack, right? Or a turnover. Right now, because they're extremely efficient. So on the drives that they're not efficient, it's usually because of some of those mistakes. And when you talk about Philly being battle tested, they seem like one of those teams where they can have 2 false starts and still win the game. You know what I mean? Like they're not phased when they kind of make a mistake. So I do think a distinction in this game coming up, like if we were talking about ways to win for the 49ers or differences between the two teams, because I think they play such different games, I think the 49ers are going to have to play a much more clean game in order to win than Philadelphia will. I think Philadelphia is the type of team that can get away with mistakes.
Ashley, you pay attention to some things because I see the tweets, and you tag me in them, and you're like, oh, Croc really agrees with this. During the 49ers 3-game losing streak, and more specifically, the last 2 games, what was my biggest issue that I had? I didn't even say with the 49er fans, right? Because that's who I was directing my
Yeah.
displeasure to. But what was my biggest issue from those 2 games, specifically the Bengals and the Vikings?
I mean, it was blaming the defense when the offense was scoring 17 points, right?
Exactly. Now, it was not me saying that the defense wasn't playing great or or,
No, it
or,
was
or,
just
or was
direct
playing
your
great. Like
attention.
they were playing bad. Like I don't think that the defense played well. My thing was, even if your defense
That was a
isn't playing,
distinction that people were not listening to. Like,
Right.
yeah,
I
people were
think they
not
assume
hearing it.
like Crocs just wants to blame the offense. No. I'm telling you, I don't think the defense is playing well. But if your defense is not playing well, they're playing bad, they're having two of their worst games. How like is the offense going to help them out at some point, right? And I feel like when you only score 17 points in each of those games, you're not helping out a defense that needs help. So when we talk about the Philadelphia Eagles being battle tested, and my guy from the Philly podcast saying this is going to be a good game, when I look at Philly, how many points did Philadelphia Eagles give up last game?
31.
Do you know?
Yeah, it's 31, right?
34. 34,
34. Oh shit. See?
right?
30,
So
34 to 37, right?
yeah. So
Because
you give
you
up
saw Jalen
34.
Hurts like his eyes. Have you? I've never. I don't think I've watched that many Philly games, but the camera kept going to him. He was like every time he was like, "I have to score again, dude. I have to score again. Okay, okay. I guess I will.
And guess
If
what?
you need to put up 50, fine. Let's go, guys."
You got to figure it out, right? For me, and this is why I say that the Eagles are extremely battle tested. And like that test, I feel like they've passed that test more times than not, right? They had a weird loss against the Jets, but when you have games like this where man, our defense ain't playing great, and defense gave it 34 points. Well, F it, we're gonna score 37
Yeah,
then,
and that was the
or
mindset.
38, whatever they scored. We're gonna score more. I think it's 37.
Yeah.
And for the 49ers, when I look at this team potentially wanting to be a championship team, because that is it's 49ers, Eagles, Cowboys in there, like, you know what I'm saying? But like, there's a small group, maybe the Lions. I don't quite believe the Lions yet, but we'll see, right? But there's a small group of teams that I feel like are held to that kind of standard. And when I look at the 49ers, it's not about when everything is going great, right? Because when it's going great, we know what it looks like. Like you might throttle a team, beat them by 21. But when a team is punching you in the mouth, when a team is putting up points, are you just gonna lay down and just say, well, defense didn't play well? Oh, well, we didn't have Debo Samuel. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you have to figure it out, right? Like the Philadelphia Eagles, they lost Dallas Goedert. Goedert has been a big part of their offense. He's been a big part of their offense. They lost Goddard. And guess what? They're like, you know what? We're still going to score 37 points if we need to.
Yeah.
So for the 49ers, a lot of fans, they were complaining, oh, well, you don't have Debo, you don't have Kittle. I mean, excuse me, you don't have Debo, you don't got Trent. Well, you still got Kittle, you still got CMC, you still got Brandon Ayuk. Like, you still have to figure it out.
Yeah.
And I say right now, if there's one edge, I'm not saying the edge actually in this game, but just an edge in how I view these teams as Super Bowl contenders. And we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out Sunday.
Yeah.
But how I view them, that's where I give the Eagles the edge. And when I say they're battle tested, is because even when they're not playing great defensively, like bad, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
they still figure out a way. No, you need some things to go your way, right? Like, I saw somebody talk about the missed throw from Josh Allen to Davis. I don't know if you saw that, but
You're gonna get that. Yeah. He was
you know,
turned around.
that could have been a touchdown. They weren't on the same page. They ended up having to settle for 3. They kicked the field goal, which I needed. Shout out to them. I came up like $600 because of that on Underdog Fantasy. But they kicked the field goal, and then you give the other team an opportunity to score, and they did. They just drive down the field. They score a touchdown. My biggest thing is when I say battle tested is being able to go through adversity and overcome it. And so far, I have not seen a 49er team overcome that. Well, they had 3 opportunities in a row to do it. The Browns, the Vikings, the Bengals.
Yeah.
In each of those games, they had opportunities late offensively to, I don't want to say erase a bad performance by the defense, but
Is the only time that Brock Purdy has been down and came back against the Raiders? Is that true? Not super important to bring up games that aren't.
Well, Kyle has never, and again, I don't know the exact
Yeah, it
stat.
could be
Maybe
more
somebody
of
in
a
the chat
Kyle
could tell me
thing.
the
Yeah.
exact stat. But Kyle had like his fourth quarter, like being
Crazy.
down, entering the fourth quarter, whatever. Like the
8 and
record's not
40 or
good.
something.
No, it's like I want to say
First
like 3 score games that he has won like 1 or 2, but like more than 3 like 4+ or something like that entering the fourth quarter. Like he has never
Wait,
won.
Ben. Oh.
Like as
Oh.
being with the Niners. So
Oh.
those things like that's tough because again, the ultimate goal for the 49ers is to win a Super Bowl, win a championship. And it's not always going to be 100% great. We saw 2019. You beat up on the Vikings. Game wasn't even really close. You go and you play the Green Bay Packers. I was actually there, NFC Championship game. Game wasn't close. You're playing in the Super Bowl. You're up 10. It's looking like you have a chance to run away from this. Now all of a sudden the Chiefs say, start fighting back. And the weird thing is, I was watching the game with my dog Lavelle Hawkins. Shout out to Hawk. And Hawk was like, Crocky, Chiefs gonna win this game. And this was when the 49ers were up. It might have
No.
been when they got that 3rd and 15 play. But 49ers were still winning. Even after that drive, 49ers were still winning. But Chiefs got that 3rd and 15 play, and he's like, Chiefs gonna win this game. I'm like, nah, man, nah. And it's just you
Crocky's
gotta.
trying to give us nightmares at 8 in the morning.
I know you gotta
You
figure it out.
terrible
You
memory.
you, you gotta figure it out. March 49ers says the missed field goal.
But
That's the
that's gonna be a
difference.
thing. Like,
That's
can
part
the
of it.
teams pull it out in the very end? But because I wrote something like that after the Bills Eagles game, where I was like, it's insane that they always find an opportunity to win, and they always pull out these games. And someone said that in my comment section. They were like, well, technically they're like 7-4 because like they made a field goal and like this one call went their way. Like that's championship football. Is one, luck on your side; two, you capitalizing on that luck. Special teams is a part of your team. If Jake Moody
Mm,
misses a kick, if their kicker makes an amazing kick, 59 yards, I think, right in the rain. Nope, just kidding. That was Bills. But if their kicker makes a kick to ice the game, like those are that's you can't that is important. In the Seahawks game, the 49ers
No,
special
wait, did you say
teams.
Eagles? No, Eagles kicked that 59-yard field goal to go into overtime.
Okay, good. I'm not. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it
I
was
got mad.
Eagles. Yeah,
But I'm saying, like, in the Seahawks game, the 49ers special teams made a blunder. Now then they kind of Ray fumbled, but then they made up for it and special teams actually did really good. But like all areas of the team need to be good. Like you can't say their win doesn't count because they got overtime because of a field goal. That doesn't like that
right.
counts. That's part of the game.
I'm gonna get to Jut Hunt. He put something in the chat talking about got to stay out of second and third and longs. We're gonna talk about the specifics
Yep.
of this game. I do want to look at this right here from Bazi Mayan. All right, Bazi Mayan says at the same time, this is just the regular season, not the postseason. Eagles are doing it, but they are doing it the same way the Vikings did last year, where the
Feel
Vikings
like
battle
I,
tested too.
I feel like I test the Vikings. Like I'm interested in your point on this. Tell me what you think. I didn't think that. I think the Eagles look impressive. The Vikings, it looked like luck. I don't know how to say the distinction in there because that's just eye test, but that's how I feel.
Last year, if you didn't pay attention to the record, right? Like if you didn't know what the Vikings record was, and you just kind of tuned in and watched them, you would think that it was a team that should be hovering around 500. Like that's what they
Yeah,
look like.
yeah, like 9-8.
And I remember I didn't know what their record was, and I was actually shocked to see that their record was as good as it was because I watched them several games, and I'm like, I ain't think nothing of them. I don't get that feeling from the Eagles. Like I've watched a lot of Eagles games this year.
Yeah,
In none of the games that I watched, I seen some slow starts. They had some slow starts, but I never walked away thinking, "Oh man, like they shouldn't have beat the Chiefs." Like they're getting good wins.
yeah,
You know, or they beat up the Cowboys, like they beat up the Chiefs, they beat the Bills. Like those are big wins.
yeah.
I don't even know if the 49ers have had wins like that.
No, I don't
Where
think so.
what would you if you say right now? What's the
I think
signature win for 49ers?
probably
Probably Cowboys.
the Cowboys. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
'Cause that's a game where they played their style of football the entire 60 minutes in my opinion. But the problem with that is they had to play perfect like that. They had to get up early. The defense had to not allow a touchdown on the first offensive possession for the Cowboys. Like I feel like the 49ers have a formula for how they win. And it looks incredible and dominant when they're able to win that way. But yeah, when you think of, I think that that's why right now I would have more confidence in the Eagles going to the playoffs, because you think as the competition gets harder, the games are going to be closer and you're going to have to overcome those mistakes more. And we kind of talked about it earlier, but the 49ers seem to kind of melt down for a second. I mean, even in the Seahawks game, they threw that pick six and then they had that third quarter lull, and it takes them a second. Like they're not able to bounce back as efficiently, in my opinion. Where the Eagles, it seems like, okay, next play, and then they're like scoring a touchdown the next play. Where I
Right.
don't know if it's a Kyle thing, I don't know if it's a players thing, I don't know where to, but it feels like the team tightens up if there's like a false start for the 49ers. It feels like they have to play kind of perfect.
Well, and I think that's where, this comes into play here. You got to, stay out of second, third, and longs. Now, most teams would tell you we don't want to be in second and third and longs, right? Like most teams would tell you that.
Yeah.
So, when you look at the 49ers, it's if you are in the second or third and long, being able to overcome the adversity. Now, I do think that Brock Purdy is the guy like that can help you with that. You know, I don't think that I get nervous when, oh man, it's third and 9. You got Brock Purdy at quarterback. Like, I don't know where this ball is going to go. Like, that's not what goes through my mind. Like, in my mind is, oh man, like, 49ers, they'll convert on this. So,
Yeah.
it sounds like, and this is going here, MVS missing the game-winning catch by Mahomes and the receiver running the wrong route on the go-ahead touchdown by Josh Allen. Eagles won by luck. I think if it keeps happening to this extent, not like you still have to capitalize on those things.
Yeah.
Right, like that's the part, because you can have a drop from Valdez-Scantling. You can have I don't even think it was a wrong route. I actually think that I think Gabe Davis ran the right route. I think because he had beat his guy, Josh was just expecting him just to take it up instead of,
the Eagles had to go down and score a touchdown still.
and they still had to go down and score a touchdown.
Yeah.
And not just that, like, again, just to get to overtime, they had to kick a 59-yard field goal in the rain.
Yeah. They came
And
back
they
from
made,
behind like 3 separate times.
right. Then you drove down, and then, okay, and then now can I capitalize on it? I think they did a terrific job of that. So I don't think that anything the Eagles are doing is luck. The 49ers just pummel them and beat them down. I think the
That'll be
49ers
awesome.
can't, right? Because I think it's kind of been all or nothing for the most part.
Yeah.
Now, they've had some slow starts to some of these games, but we see the 49ers just pull away. I don't think I want to see a 24-27 game with 10 minutes left and the 49ers are down. Because so far in that moment, like, I haven't seen the 49ers give me the results that I would like to see, which is,
Yeah.
oh man, we were able to pull out a W. And I've actually seen the opposite, where all of a sudden you just get some random turnovers
Yeah.
or some weird things bounce in the Browns game.
It's interesting how different these teams are, because the 49ers are, I think they lead the league in first quarter scoring, and the Eagles lead the league in second half, like scoring in the third quarter, second half.
There
I
was a game.
wonder, I have a question for you. Could you see it kind of, because I feel like it could play out this way. Eagles usually start slow. 49ers, when they're playing the game that they want to play, kind of start fast. Could you see the 49ers getting up, scoring on their first offensive possession, holding the Eagles, maybe the Eagles kind of get in a groove? And do you think as a fan, how much would the 49ers have to be up for you to feel safe? Because I feel like the 49ers could be up by like 2 touchdowns going into the halftime, and I wouldn't feel confident yet. I'm
I
nervous that they're going to make it a back and forth game. And I hope that the 49ers do get up, because I think if it's like close, I think the Eagles can pull it out in the end. So I'm
I
interested in
think that
how
the
you feel about
49ers, if the Eagles start slow like they have, then the 49ers just jump on them. And it'd be really hard for the Eagles to come back from that.
it. Okay.
Like, just because of the team. Like, this isn't Washington Commanders. This isn't like I think this isn't Buffalo, right? Like, if the 49ers get up on you, they get to continue to play the style of football that they want to play,
Yeah.
which
And
is
they have a
we're
good
going to
defense.
ground and pound, and we're going to hit our deep overs, and we're going to still have our run fakes. Like, they'll be able to play that brand of football, and that's when it's tough. The way to beat the 49ers is to take them out of that. Like, can you take the 49ers out of the way that they want to play? And if you do, like, that's when they struggle. So
Yeah.
the best thing for Philly is to, like, can you get out on top? Like, can you start faster, come out, get a score? And if you could do that, then, all right, you got a ball game. And then now it's all right, we got to see now the 49ers be able to win a game like that. Against a really good team. Like, this is not the Rams, I want to say it was 10-17, then 17-17. The 49ers ended up pulling away late.
Yeah.
But the Eagles are different than the Rams. Rams actually playing a little bit better over the last couple of weeks. There was a game earlier this year, the Washington Commanders, and I'm watching that game, and it was about to be like 17-7 at halftime. I think the Eagles had got like a last second field goal, and then all of a sudden the Eagles just boom poured on them, kind of in the second half. They ended up only winning by 3, but like that's the team, like they can play like that. Like they have no issues trying to come from behind late. Just can they do it against the 49ers? I'm going to bring on our first guest. We got Tia coming on now. All right, we're going to get some of Tia's thoughts on this game. Tia, how are you doing this morning?
I'm
Hi,
fine. How
Ted.
y'all doing? Hi.
Good.
Oh, good, good.
I
I
think
love
it'll
her
be a good
voice.
game.
Sorry, that's a side note. But
Oh,
dang,
thank you.
you should do like what are those things called? Where you like whisper? Do you know what I'm
Oh,
talking about?
Talking about like some
yeah.
like the little sexy phone call stuff.
No.
No, I
Like
can't do that. I got
ASMR
kids. I
helps
can't
people
do
sleep.
that.
I ain't never
No.
really had nobody whisper to me, so I don't know, but
Okay. I'm just saying he has a nice voice. Sorry,
Oh,
we can.
all right.
appreciate it. Thank you. I think it'll be a good game. I hope so. I know people making a big deal out of the Hassan Reddick comments, but I didn't think it was too offensive, in my opinion, because I just think he was talking about the disrespect. I think he thinking about it as disrespectful for him, not the Eagles in general. You know what I mean? I think they were downplaying his performance rather than the Eagles in total. I think they were, and to me, it did seem like we was kind of whining. Like at some point, like I get it, Brock got hurt, but let it go. Like we lost the game. Like I get it, but it was like it was a constant Debo continually to talk. We had this, or we had this, or we did this. It's like I get it, but at the same time, we still could have. We had opportunities. The defense didn't stop nobody.
There was some things that went their way. Hold on, Tia. I do want to say one thing about that. If I was a 49er player, right?
Right.
If I were Debo, any of those guys, and remember, 49ers rocking and rolling at this point. Like they're on a
Right.
big win streak. They're hot. They're ready to go. Like they're entering this game. Let's go. And to work that hard to get there, right? Like you worked hard.
Mhm.
You're battle tested. You went through 3 quarterbacks, and on the second drive of the game, it's over, right? Like as soon as Brock went down, like in my head is that I'm trying not to panic, but I know like it's over. I would, if I were a player that worked all these out, I would feel cheated, not by the Eagles, not by anybody on the Eagles or anything like that, but I would feel like cheated by the football gods. Like, damn, why y'all do us like this? Like,
Right,
look,
but you're right. But they
we
didn't put
got
it
this
that way.
far, and
Yeah,
dang, our
they.
quarterback gets knocked out, and we strongly feel like with how we were playing, if our quarterback doesn't get hurt, which happen, injuries happen, right? But I'm just look from their perspective. If our quarterback doesn't get hurt, this is a completely different game. And I think even if you look at it defensively, they start to press because they weren't getting anything out of the offense. So now they're doing uncharacteristic things. Guys are trying really hard to make plays, and it was just kind of a snowball effect from there when you're kind of fighting with one arm behind your back. So I do hear, and I see it in the Locked On comments, a lot of Philadelphia fans in there. Oh,
Mhm.
look, crying again, crying again. Nobody's crying. We're just telling you, like, I get where these players are coming from, and but I also get where the edge rusher,
Hassan
Ready.
Reddick.
Hassan Reddick, right?
Mhm.
Shout out to Hassan Reddick, drafted out of Temple. I think when he was drafted by Arizona Cardinals, it was like, is he an off-ball linebacker? Is he a pass rusher? Clearly, he's a pass rusher, especially last year, knocked our quarterback out. But he has every right to feel the way he feels. Like, man, look, I hear about these people talking about this game and all that.
Right.
We won, and that would be my message to them as well. But from the 49ers standpoint, I do get it. A team that is like, bro, we fought hard. and then all of a
Right.
sudden it's over, like it's done, like you're not winning this game once you're quarterback, and you feel
Mhm.
you probably feel some type of way. And then last thing I want to say about it is everything that I heard was, and maybe because they knew that the 49 players would talk about it, but they were being asked about it from the media. Like I ain't see like somebody just randomly on Twitter like, man, they lucky our quarterback got hurt. We would have won. Like I didn't see that.
Mhm.
I saw people on podcasts, and the podcasters bring it up like, man, how do you think that would? And they're all doing their
Mhm.
thing, right? Like they do that around Super Bowl.
Right.
They're going around, they're
Radio
promoting
Row.
Mhm.
somebody's paying them to talk about. So they're all going on these interviews and everything. And they, how you think you would have did if your quarterback didn't get hurt? I think we would have won because that's what all we did leading up to that point. So I get it, but I also understand from Philly side, like, bro, we don't want to hear that. We won, y'all lost. Stop crying about it. So I think that makes it just more entertaining for this week with AJ Brown telling Eagle fans, "Hey, go troll Debo Samuel. Y'all got my permission." I thought that was really fun. But yeah, I just kind of want to touch on that. My bad, Tia. Go ahead.
No, I just think that sometimes, I guess I'm thinking of the old school way. People talk a lot of talk. It matters on the field and what you produce on the field. And I just feel like sometimes we get into this little. I feel like sometimes the 49er players, some of them, get into this thing where we winning and we doing kind of like the Cowboys, where we beating all these teams. We doing all this, and then when we get to the team that we need to beat, we crap the bed. So I just feel like I just hope that they do come and be ready to play. I hope Kyle Shanahan get out of his way and call the game like we playing Sean McVay. Don't get in here and call the game kind of like how he do when we play the Chiefs. It's like he get in there and he just kind of like
Freezes up.
he get confused as to what's going on in the game, and he doesn't call the same kind of game as if we were playing somebody in the NFC West. You know what I mean? So I just hope that Kyle Shanahan comes in there and gives them an opportunity to win the game. Because to me, I think it's gonna come down to him, not so
To
much
Tia's,
as to Brock or anything else.
to Tia's point, Crocker, do you think that Kyle will try to match and be more aggressive? Because you know that the Eagles they don't even, they see fourth down as just a automatic
And they
first
don't
down
care.
with the
Yeah.
push. Do you think that Kyle Shanahan, because he I feel like leans on more conservative play calling, but maybe he'll feel the need to give himself more opportunities because the Eagles are going to they give themselves more chances by going for it all the time, and they're going to go for it every time. Where Kyle has, I think he's been asked about this before, and he says he always goes by the feel of the game or whatever, which just means that he decides every single
The
time
no.
yes or no.
Yeah.
And usually he decides no, like he definitely leans on being more conservative. Do you think that he'll try to match Sirianni's aggressiveness in this game?
Well, you talk about Eagles, and obviously, watching them, you see how aggressive they can be, especially with the tush push. But I mean, go back to the championship game. What happened in that game on the first drive for the Philadelphia Eagles? It was
Froze
fourth and
up.
5. Like they went for
Right.
it
Right.
and ended up getting it. Now, wish the 49ers would have challenged it. They didn't, but um, they went for it and converted on fourth down. So you definitely have to match their aggressiveness. I think for the 49ers, it's just having that like staple win, like that signature win this year.
Right.
That like, no, we are the big dogs. We are the
Mhm.
big dogs in the NFC. Um, right now, I mean, more is at stake. Yes, it's a regular season game. I see somebody saying, I saw it in the chat. Where's it at? Oh, right here. Black Space says we are giving this game way too much hype. Y'all acting like Philly won the Super Bowl and they didn't. They are no better than us. Chiefs are the only ones that should be bragging. No, like no, I don't think that's how
But
it works. Like,
but
I
but the
beat
but
you.
the Eagles beat the Chiefs. Have we beat the Chiefs?
Well, yeah, and then I mean they did that this year,
But I'm
but
just, but
just
I'm just, I'm just saying.
from last year, yeah. But my thing is like if I beat you, like I beat you. Don't worry about this
Mhm.
next team. That
Mhm.
okay, they got us. Okay, cool. But we played you like Cowboy fans. They've been in my mentions, and they want to talk about these my bros and all that, right? Like they want to talk about, well, y'all lost, but what do we do to y'all? Like, right,
Right.
like we knocked y'all out the playoffs 2 years in a row. Then we just dominated y'all week 5 or whatever it was. Like we own y'all. So I'll take it. I'll take the heat from Eagles fans. I'll take the heat from Chiefs fans or Rams fans when they knock the 49ers out the playoffs. But the people I won't take anything from is the Dallas Cowboys. until y'all show us that you can beat it. So for them, it is a big game. For the 49ers, it should be a big game because this is one, an opportunity to just kind of like show a certain level of dominance on the road, but two, also kind of creep towards, can we potentially win the NFC?
Right.
Like, can we get that number one seed? Can we get that first round bye and have home field? But it starts with handling business here. Then you got to hope that Dallas Cowboys handle business when they play Philly next week. And then now it's like, all right, let's go. Then the 49ers probably got to play uh, Baltimore coming up, and that's a whole different
Oh,
conversation.
Jesus, help me.
That team right now. Defensively, offensively, I like the 49ers against them. Defensively,
I don't.
their defense is
No.
I don't. I do
different.
not like them.
They're
No.
moving at a different speed.
Yeah. But I just feel like we have. I think we can win the game. I'm not saying we can't win the game. I just hope that, like I said, sometimes it just seems like when these type of games come up, Kyle kind of gets a little safe with his play calling, and it seemed like it happened when we played the Chiefs every time. When in the Super Bowl it happened, he was out there, he was calling, and then the second half he get conservative. I don't know what his problem is, but it just seemed like he totally flipped the switch. And even like some of the games last year, the games that okay, we need to get this monkey off our back. Let's go ahead and try to win the game. We doing good, and then the second half he just kind of like he just stopped calling the plays. Even like the Seattle game Thursday. I know a lot of people say, well, it wasn't a close game, but in the third quarter, we didn't put no points up.
Right.
Like what? I don't know what happened or why he decided to stop, calling the game. But that's the one thing I do like about a Sean McVay or a Mike McDaniels or Sirianni. As arrogant as he is, they take chances because they know their team is good. They have so much belief and faith in their team on offense and defense. They don't care if it doesn't work because they know they can get back in the game and do whatever they need to do to try to put up points. And sometimes I do wish Kyle have that same mentality instead of just trying to put it all on the defense, because sometimes our corners are trash. They're not going to be able to just not hold AJ Brown and hold Devontae Smith and hold some of these
We
top tier
did good
receivers.
Tia,
against
why they
No.
gotta be
DK.
trash?
We're too good against DK.
If you
AJ
say
Brown will
anything
be a
about
new
our
test
defense, what is the weakest link on our defense?
for sure. There,
I'll wait.
for sure.
No, okay, they
It's
can
just,
be the weak. I don't think they trash though. I actually think Diamador Lenoir is actually playing. I think he's actually playing kind of well, and I think that
I
Trevor
think Ward
Ward
had his best game the last two games.
plays solid. Like I
but
think
what's
he
the thing
plays solid.
about DK Metcalf that everybody kind of knows about him? You get in his head, he kind of just shuts down, not really in the game, don't really want to catch no ball. He more worried about, I want to talk about you, I want to fight you. But
Yeah,
everybody knows that about DK Metcalf. He's a great wide receiver, but he hasn't figured out that it's gonna be trash talk. I can't let you get me out of my game. Everybody knows. You can say one thing to DK Metcalf, he is out the game.
yeah,
You know that. Like
yeah.
you get under his skin. I don't care what Pete Carroll say. I don't care what anybody say. I'm worried about what he just said to me 30 minutes ago.
I will say this
So
to you, and I'm gonna end on this and get to the next caller. The 49ers corners actually played extremely well against AJ Brown and Devontae Smith last year in the playoffs. Now, maybe part of it, there was no sense of urgency because they kind of understood, like, 49ers kind of shorthanded. We don't have to do anything too crazy, try to win this game. Like, let's just,
mhm.
But Lenore played exceptionally well, and Travis Ward played very well also in that game. All right, in that game. And leading up to it, Lenore played very well in
Right.
the postseason. But yeah, I'll give you that. All right, T, I'm gonna have to get to the next caller. I
Okay.
appreciate you calling in though.
All right. Thank y'all.
All right. I'm not saying that 49ers corner is gonna go in there and shut down AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. But I will say they did play well against those guys in the postseason last year.
I agree.
All right, here we go. We got case 49 on case. How you doing this morning?
What's going on, Crock? What's going on, Ashley? How y'all doing?
Oh man, chilling, feeling good.
Chilling.
Feeling good.
Yeah, man. It's bang bang Niner gang, man. It's about that time, man. You know what I mean? It's a time to go to war for real. You know what I mean? Like everybody got to put their chin straps on come this Sunday, and we got to go smack some people in the mouth for real, man. Like, you know what I mean? They doing a lot of talking. You know, it kind of feel like to me that they scared a little bit because they running their mouth so much. You know what I mean? Like Hassan Reddick, the first thing he say is talk is cheap, right? And then he go ahead and proceed to talk. You know what I mean? And now you got AJ Brown talking. You know, the loudest one in the room is the weakest one in the room. You know what I mean? To quote my man from American Gangster. But yeah, man, it's about that time. You know what I
I
mean?
have a
Like,
question for I have a question for you. Do you think because the 49ers players, the reason that Reddick was he was responding to stuff that they said last year, right? But then this year I was seeing the locker room interviews. Trent Williams, Deebo Samuel, and Ayuk were all asked about last year and the matchup and all this, and they
yeah,
all had the same answer, which was we don't want to talk about last year. This is a new year. We're treating this like any other game. We're excited for the game. We're going to bring our best. Like they were not
yeah.
trying to talk, at least media wise, they were not trying to engage in the trash talk. Do you think that that was maybe a message from like Kyle to have the team
I
shut up, or
think
is that
so.
just something they all came to?
I think so, man. I think they all got kind of got like a little talk to, you know, because Debo was going back and forth with what's his name, Chauncey Gardner Johnson or whatever,
Yeah.
and Kittle had the the F Dallas shirt on. So I think they all might have got a little talk to be honest. Like after they lost those games, it's like now they in playoff mode already. You know what I mean? Like they trying to stay focused. You know, they're not into the talk. They about letting their play do the talking for them. And I'm all for that. You know what I mean? I support that. Even though, if you're from, what I mean, the street area, the urban areas, they like to say, yeah, I talk a lot of smack, but I back it up too. So I guess that's what the Eagles are trying to do. It's like every time I see these Eagles fans in the stores and stuff around here, man, it's like I can't help but to pop some smack back and forth to them. You know what I mean? But I think it's going to be a good game, though. I think our defense is going to show up. I think our defense is going to come out rested, energized. You're going to see Fred Warner flying all over the field. We're going to rush forward. We're going to drop seven. We're going to contain Jalen Hurts. We're going to make him play quarterback like we've been doing with most of these mobile quarterbacks. Keep him in the pocket, make him throw, and we're going to see what happens. Jair Brown, like he needs to have a good game. I want to see him come up and really lay the wood in the run game. How we stop the run is going to be real important. But I think the defense is going to show up. We got the number one defense right now, is for a reason, and the defense travels. I think it's going to show up. I'm kind of more worried about our offense, to be honest with you. Like we've been doing okay on third down conversions, but we got to get the ball in the box. We need seven. Like we the Eagles defense is good. Like we got to give the Eagles credit. They're 10-1 for a reason. Even though I do think they're the worst 10-1 team I've ever seen.
You
With the
think
way that
so?
they play, they're the worst 10-1 team I've ever seen. But they are good. They do have a good defense, and good defenses tend to give our offense problems. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna
I'm
grab.
looking at a lot of people talking about the weather in this game. So I want to ask you how that might affect things. I just pulled up on my phone the forecast for this Sunday, and it looks like 65% chance of rain, high
Man,
of 52. So
I'm over
um,
here in
I'll
PA.
let you kind of end on this before I get to the next caller. But do you think that, or how do you think that the weather might play a factor in this game one way or another? Like, do you think that the 49ers are more built to play in it, or do you think maybe Philly is a little bit better suited to play in those type of conditions?
I'm gonna just end it like this. At the end of the day, it's just a regular season game. It's not going to determine, who's going to go to the Super Bowl, anything like that. Us as fans, we really excited because we want to get our revenge. But for the players, it's really just another game, and it don't really matter if we win or lose. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, Brock is going to have to prove a lot of things. If we're going to win this game, not only is he going to have to prove that he can play in bad weather, but he's also going to have to prove that he can win a close game because this game is going to be close. It is
Yeah.
going to be close. It's not going to be a blowout. Sorry, fellas. It's not going to be a blowout. The Eagles are a good team. It's going to be a heavyweight match. And in order for us to win, Brock is going to have to win a close game on the road. That's it.
All right, man. Appreciate you coming on, Case 49.
No doubt. Holla.
Uh-oh. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. I cut you off.
I
Oh
think
no,
he's
you
saying
good?
bang bang.
I was just saying
Oh,
bang
okay.
bang out again.
He's
You
saying
already
bang bang now again.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right, for sure. For sure. All right, here we go. Butthead. Butthead in the chat says, back in the day, weather. All right. Back in the day, weather was never a factor with our Smash Mouth run game with Gore and Cap as our QB. We were world warriors. One year they played 3 straight games on the road. I want to say. I think they
Mhm.
started in Carolina, then had to go to Green Bay, and that was like the blistering, cold weather.
Crazy.
And then and then in the championship game, I think that might have been the year they had to go play Seattle. I want to say. All right, and
Yeah.
obviously we know how that one turned out, but definitely in those moments you weren't worried about the weather or the game. I remember Cap and the 49ers going to New England Patriots and in the rain putting up 30 something points or 40 points, whatever it was, right? So that was one thing that we could kind of count on Kaepernick in that offense to, really kind of come through no matter how inclement the weather was.
I was gonna say, do you think it's a bad idea? Kyle Shanahan, he's been asked before because his teams perform really poorly in weather, which is kind of confusing because their mantra has always been like physicality and the run game, but he's performed really terribly in weather. And last year, I think it was, I asked Grant to ask, and he in a press conference asked Kyle why they don't practice with wet footballs, and Kyle said that he thinks that it gets in the quarterback's head, and so he doesn't like to practice with any wet footballs. But then the other teams that they seem to go against, I'm thinking about the Indianapolis Colts, but I know that was a while ago. But their team, when asked about it, they always prepare. If they know it's going to rain, they always practice with wet footballs. Do you think that that's a decision that Kyle is overthinking, maybe, and maybe he's the one in his head, and they should practice, or do you think it shouldn't matter either way?
I would practice with a wet football.
Yeah, yeah.
Chris, what up, man?
Oh, God, Lord. y'all funny, man. Y'all funny. Y'all let casuals on here say anything. And then I'm going to say this.
Real quick. Chris
I'm going to
always,
address it all.
if I let something slide, like when, and again, I let people come on here like they get your stuff
I
off.
know, Croc, and
He wants me to
I'm about to
interrupt
address it
people.
all.
Chris wants me to interrupt people and tell me how they are wrong.
Well,
But
because
go
you
ahead,
know
Chris.
what? No, it's not about that. It's about allowing them to spew information that's incorrect and then allow these people to listen to it and knowing that they're just spewing out lies. The dude said the Eagles got a good defense. The Eagles got a good defense? They've allowed five. They've allowed five 300 plus
Like,
yard
terrible
passes.
passing defense.
They're ranked 17th DVOA in stopping a run. In the last 2 games, they allowed over 150 yards rushing. What are we talking about? The Eagles' defense is trash. Go to the Niners secondary. Secondary defense and the front seven play hand. I mean, the front four play hand in hand. Last 3 games, the Niners allow Christian Kirk to go over 100 yards. Outside of that,
Yeah,
against
the
Tampa Bay,
secondary's been good.
they didn't allow a receiver to go over 50 yards. Against the Seattle Seahawks, they didn't allow a receiver to go over 50 yards. And we're talking about Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, 1,000-yard receivers. We talking Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, 1,000-yard receivers. What are we doing here? People
I
need to
almost
stop
want
putting
a
on this
game
thing and lying.
ball.
And then
I almost
let me
want
say
to
this about the
give.
Niners and the weather. Yeah, we lost in a monsoon, but actually the Niners played the Cardinals and it was raining. We won. The Niners played the Seahawks twice. Rain. We won. And it was another game we played. And I think it was another game we played in last year and won in the rain. So we actually played pretty well in the rain. It actually rained a little bit against either the Jaguars or the Seahawks. I forgot which one,
I think it was
whichever one of
Jags.
those. Said it again.
I think it might have. I know it was very overcast, gloomy. I saw some of their fans talking about how the 49ers brought weather from San Francisco, which I don't think a lot of
Yeah,
people
yeah.
know, but San Francisco and Santa Clara, San Jose are a decent enough distance.
Different.
Like they have two different weather,
Yep.
right? You get the overcast, the cloudy in Frisco, but when you get to San Jose in that area, it's a little nicer. But yeah, I get what they're saying though.
Yeah. So I mean, I think the Niners actually play pretty well in rain. I mean, people will talk about the Browns game. You can't win every rain game. You can't win every game. So it's just that's what I want. Like that's all I need you to do, Croc. Like when a guy came on and said, "Yeah, Ebucom and Charles and Minihue is equivalent to Chase Young." I turned this thing off.
Hold on. I think Case got something to say. Case popped back in, so
All right,
Case might have something to say.
let me hear what he got to say.
Yo,
Yeah.
yeah. So what's going on, man? Yeah, I hear your point, man. But I don't know who he was talking about. Talk, talking about casuals or whatever. But you know what I'm saying? Me personally, I've been a Niners fan since '87, man. I watch, every game. I know football. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. I grew up with Michael Vick. I know football. You know what I'm saying? So this whole casual stuff, we're gonna throw that out the window right now. But what I wanted to say is, how you gonna say that defense is trash? This team is 10-1, man. You don't make it to 10-1 with a trash defense, man. You
You
know what
want to
I'm
know why
saying?
they 10-1? And see, then this is why
It
you got
don't
to watch
matter.
the
It
games.
don't matter. They 10
Oh,
and
it
one.
don't
At the end
matter,
of the
but you
day,
don't want to be
they
called a
10-1.
casual. You don't want to be called a casual, but you saying it don't matter. You're just saying flat out 10-1. The Vikings went 13-4 last year. You want to know what their defense was ranked? 32nd. And you know what
Yeah.
happened? They got kicked out the playoffs the first game. Talk football with me. Come on.
No, you saying numbers, man. Numbers don't tell the whole story. Stats don't
Oh
tell the
my
whole
God. I
story.
just
Stats don't tell the whole story. If you know football, you know anybody can come up with numbers to fit your narrative.
but
You know what I'm
wait.
saying?
Did
That's
I
not
just
what
not
it's about.
explain to you?
At the end of the day, we're gonna see what happened in this game, and we're gonna see it's not gonna be a blowout because the Eagles are not chumps. You know what I mean? For you to sit there and just, disrespect them like that, you know what I'm saying, lets
Well,
me know you don't know much about football either.
okay,
This is a
okay,
10
okay,
1
okay,
team.
okay,
We
here,
playing
okay,
on
okay,
the road.
okay,
You know
okay,
what I'm
okay,
saying?
okay. Let me go. Okay, so this is the issue. I bring examples. I bring actual things that happen. You're just talking, right?
Oh, God.
So when I say
Oh,
the
Lord.
Vikings went 13-4, because you said 10-1, their record is
Who's
10-1,
talking
so
about the
nothing
Vikings?
matters, right?
We talking
No.
about
Let
the
me finish.
Eagles,
I'll
man.
let you finish.
We talking
You
about
said that
we
you
talking
said the
about the
Eagles
team.
are 10-1. You said the Eagles are 10-1 and nothing else matters. So I bring to you the Vikings, who went 13-4 last year, but they were ranked 32nd in defense, had the worst point differential, and got knocked out in the first round because the Giants scored like 30 points on them or something like that. Again,
When is the last time
that's
that the Vikings
examples.
been in the
No,
Super
no, no.
Bowl,
That's
man?
an
When is
example,
the
and that's
last time the
showing
Vikings
you.
been in the Super
That's
Bowl?
showing
The
you.
Eagles
That's
win the
showing
first
you
team to ever be
that
10
numbers
one
do matter.
after losing the
Actually,
Super Bowl, man. The first
bro.
team to ever be 10-1 after losing the Super Bowl. And you saying their defense is trash. Yeah, they got weaknesses. They got holes in the secondary. Nobody is not saying that they don't. But to sit here and trying to say that their defense is trash is ridiculous. Darius Slay is a
Their
Pro Bowler.
defense is not very
Jordan
good.
Davis is
I'm
there
not.
covered
I'm
in the
not gonna sit
middle.
up here and
They're
lie.
no joke. Hassan Reddick already showed us what he was all about. So to sit there and just disrespect their defense
Oh,
and call them trash lets me know you don't know nothing about
no.
football. You
Okay.
talking about the
Okay.
Vikings
Okay.
who ain't
So
been to a
this
Super
is
Bowl
this
in
is
over
what.
60 years.
No.
Come on, man.
Let me explain it to you. So this
Come
is
on,
what
man.
you're. This is
Vikings
what
ain't
you're
been to a
missing.
Super Bowl in over
This is
60
this
years,
is
man.
what you're missing. This is what you're missing. The Eagles situationally, right? Their pass
Vikings ain't
rush
been to a Super Bowl in 60
situationally
years.
casual. Situationally, the Eagles pass rush has made plays. They made plays against the Rams. See, I watch football games. They made plays against the Rams. They
Oh, I
made
watch
plays
football
against the
games.
Vikings. They made
Yeah,
plays
you a
against the
spectator.
Cowboys. Situationally, the Eagles make plays. Situationally, Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, when they need him most, he makes plays. Their run game is efficient and it is as good as anybody's. Again, that's football. That's examples. I'm telling you, game situations where everybody has made a play. Again, Hassan Reddick made a big
Bruh,
attack, a big sack
bruh,
against the Rams.
bruh.
Like,
Look,
talk
you ain't got to do
football
all the
with me.
explaining,
Don't
man.
give me
You
don't
ain't got to
no.
do all
Don't
the
give me
explaining, man.
vague.
I already see
Don't
where
give
you
me
coming from.
vague, broad.
You ain't got
Broad
to do all the
answers.
explaining. I
Actually,
already
talk
see where
ball
you
with me.
coming from, man. You ain't coming
Talk
from
ball
no.
with me. Talk ball with me.
I already see you ain't coming from nowhere.
Again,
And not
five
only that,
different times.
Brock Purdy
Five
played bad
different
in the
times.
rain in the first half in
Five
Seattle.
different
Last
times.
year's playoffs, he
Five
played
different
bad in the
times. The
rain in the
Eagles
first
have
half
allowed
in
over
Seattle,
500
and he
yards.
played in the
The
rain
Eagles'
against the
defense is
Browns that had the
completely
worst
different from
statistical game
last
of
year
his
to this
career.
year. Both of us, listen, people can't hear it. Both of us talking.
Bruh, you ain't saying nothing.
Bro, you just said a
You
bunch of
ain't
vague
saying
stuff.
nothing.
You
You know
said
what
a
I mean?
bunch
You
of
doing
vague
all this
stuff.
explaining, but you
You
ain't
said
saying
you said a
nothing,
bunch
man.
of vague stuff. You said numbers don't
Look,
matter. You said numbers
look.
don't
Brock
matter.
Purdy
You
played
said
bad in the
numbers don't
rain.
matter. I said you said 10
I
and
didn't say
1.
they don't
You said
matter. I
they're 10
said they
and 1,
don't
so
tell
it
the whole
don't matter.
story.
You
I
said
said they don't tell the whole
you
story.
said the Eagles went
Anybody
10
can
and
bring
1.
up numbers to
You
fit
said
their
the Eagles
narrative,
went
man.
10 and 1, so it doesn't matter what I said. Then I bring to you the Vikings went 13 and 4 and got knocked out first round because they had 32nd ranked defense. Like, let's actually talk.
That
I
was
did not
nice.
tell you. And wait, and then I say the Eagles situationally, their
Brock,
pass rush situationally make plays
Brock,
against the Cowboys, Rams,
Brock.
Vikings,
What you think? You think the
and against the
Eagles defense
Chiefs.
is trash?
And against the
You think the
Chiefs.
Eagles got a trash defense, Croc?
I think that they're not as good as they were last year, but as a team, they are very opportunistic.
Do you think they
Croc
trash though?
and that's and the Croc saying it in a nice way that they're not a very good defense. They give up
Now,
22
I'm not
points
saying
per
that they're not
game.
very good. Like, I think, again, I think that I don't want to say defense is overrated in the NFL, but I think it's always going to come down to what offense makes more plays.
They're ranked 29th. They're ranked it,
Okay,
when it
man.
matters most, Croc, your
We're gonna
defense
see.
Like,
makes more.
where are they takeaways? That's the bigger thing, right? 'Cause we can talk about yards, DVOA, but like, where are they with takeaways, and then where's their points per game offensively? Like, to me, like that will tell me a little bit more about this team, because I don't think they're terrible defensively. Like, they're not.
They're ranked. They're not really good in takeaways, and
Okay,
they're different in their turnover differential. They're -2.
gotcha. Where the
So what does
49ers
that tell
at
you,
in
Croc?
turnover
So what
differential?
does that tell you? They're really good in time of possession.
Now, the 49ers, again, we're talking about the 49ers are favorites right now. Last time I
Yeah,
checked, they were like 3-point favorites.
the 49ers are +11 in turnover differential, and then the 49ers are in takeaways. They're number 3. So we actually got a good defense. We actually take the ball away, and we don't give the ball away as much. The Eagles in giveaways, because the Eagles, they don't give the ball away too much. They actually got 16 giveaways, and they only got 14 takeaways. Again, a -2. Their defense, they're ranked 29th against the pass. Uh, they allow quarterbacks to throw for 300 yards on them.
See, half the story, man. Where are they
I'm
ranked
telling you, I'm
overall,
telling
man?
you a bunch of the
What is their
story.
defense ranked overall?
I'm telling you a bunch of the story.
What is their defense ranked overall, man?
They're ranked in the 20th or something. Hold on, right here. 1, 2, 3, 4,
But
5, 6,
at
7,
the end of the
8,
day,
9,
like I
10,
said,
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh, yeah, 18, 19. They're ranked in the 20s. They're not
we'll
good.
see. We don't even
They're
know.
not
You don't
good.
even know the
Hey,
answer,
wait,
so
wait, wait,
we'll
hey,
have
wait.
to see
And then if
about
the
that.
Niners score
We'll
30
parking
points on
lot.
them and the
We'll
Niners
parking lot
win,
that
I'm gonna
question.
come back here and I'm gonna call you a casual.
Whatever, man.
You don't know
You know what I
ball.
mean? Like,
You don't know ball.
All right, all right,
whatever.
all right,
You know what I'm
all right.
saying?
We gotta get to the next callers. Well, I definitely appreciate y'all and the back and forth. Roscoe, I'll talk to you later. Case 49, I appreciate you coming on as well.
Hey,
Yeah, no
folks,
doubt,
make
man.
sure y'all
We're gonna
use
see at the
actual
end of the
evidence when
day.
y'all bring up stuff.
We're
All
I'm
gonna
not
right,
see
all
at
right,
the
all
end.
right, all right, all right, all right. I got okay. There you go. Okay, because that was not finna stop. They were gonna keep going. I am gonna bring on the last callers. All right, we got a few people about to tune in. I'm gonna do like a 10-minute roundtable, and we only got 10 minutes because I gotta go work out. All right, but we got a 10-minute roundtable. All right, so we got Keith, we got Eric, we got Gammon, and we got I Test Sports. I'm bringing all y'all on. And what I would like to do is, I think I want Eric with a K to set the stage. He's going to have his take, and I would like to hear Keith, Gammon, and I Test Sports kind of respond to what Eric has to say. That's how we'll do this. All right. So, welcome to the show, Eric. Appreciate you coming on. And then
Hey,
we
what's up,
got
Croc? How are you?
Keith, Gammon, and I Test Sports. All right, so we got everybody on right now. Eric, I'm gonna let you set the stage, set the table, however you want to do it, with a take, and then I would love to hear, and we can go from I Test Sports, and then Gammon, and then Keith on their thoughts on whatever your take is. All right, so Eric, go ahead. Let's hear it.
All right, yeah, I appreciate it.
I got a couple issues with what the last caller was saying, the guy on the right. I think he's really discrediting the Eagles here. They are 10-1. Now, you can say whatever the stats say about their defense. Like, I agree with the guy. I didn't catch their names. I apologize for not knowing their names.
Case 49, Mr. Roscoe.
Okay, I agree with the guy on the left. Their defense can't be that bad if they're 10-1. I mean, I think the guy on the right, he was making a lot of arguments. I don't think he realized a lot of things he was saying wasn't exactly making his case stronger. A lot of things he was saying kind of goes against what he was trying to say. What he said about the Vikings, how the Vikings were kind of like fraudulent because they had a bad defense. 49ers played the Vikings earlier this year. How'd that game go? Did the terrible Vikings defense prevent the Vikings from being able to win? They didn't have Christian Darrisaw. They didn't have Justin Jefferson. They still beat the 49ers. So the idea that, like, they can't win because of the bad defense, like, the 49ers lost to the Eagles in the playoffs last year. They lost to the Vikings this year. So if you're trying to say the Eagles' defense is terrible, they can't win. The Vikings' defense is terrible, they can't win. The last two times the 49ers played those teams, they lost. They can lose to these teams, and especially the Eagles. I think you're really discrediting the Eagles. I think a lot of what this guy was saying was kind of like going against the point he was trying to make. He kept saying things, and I'm listening, and I'm like, bro, you're like countering your own argument here. Like, you're giving all these reasons why the Eagles keep winning. Those are reasons why the Eagles keep winning. You're talking about how, Jalen Hurts is really good in crunch time. Yeah, he is. And, the pass rush makes, really timely plays. Yeah, they do. Do they play great, for the course of the game? No. Have they given up? Have they looked as good as they did last year? Not quite, although I think Jalen Carter in the middle was, I don't know how the NFL let him fall all the way to the Eagles. That seems like, they probably should have done something to avoid that. But, I mean, I think the Eagles are a really good team. I think we have to take this team seriously. I think that not only what they do on the field, but they got the intangibles. I think one of the issues the 49ers have is when they get down in a game, it's difficult for them to come back. I don't see that problem with the Eagles. So the Eagles just came back on the Chiefs. The Eagles just beat the Chiefs and the Bills in back-to-back games. They just beat the cream of the crop in the AFC. Well, maybe not the Bills so much, but you know what I mean? They beat the defending Super Bowl champions, and then they beat the Bills in back-to-back games. We cannot take the Eagles lightly. They are a good team. They find ways to win. That is worth something. Is it good to always come out and blow out your opponents? Yeah. When you're playing teams like the Cardinals and the Giants, like the 49ers are doing earlier in the year, and they're blowing them out, it's good to win those games by 20, 30 points. But there is value in being able to come back at the end. There's value in being able to win close games. We haven't really seen the 49ers be able to win that kind of game. The only game that they've been able to win is when they get out big, they get a lead. They are built to play with a lead. They have a great pass rush. They have a great running game. You get the lead, you run the ball, you burn the clock, you keep the defense off the field. When the defense comes out, you unleash the pass rush because the other team has to throw the ball to come back. They're designed to play with a lead. They're not designed to come back in these games. They
All right, Eric with a K. Hold on, because we gotta get to the other guys.
Okay.
Chris came up, so I'm pretty sure he has a rebuttal to something you said. Chris, we got to keep it quick though, because I got to get to the other three guys and get their thoughts on something. All right, so go ahead, Chris.
No, I understand.
Eric, I let Case 49 come back on and defend himself, so I'm like, I gotta let Chris come back up and defend
Eric,
himself.
you just lied. Eric, you lied. Eric, I'm talking about the Vikings last year. I'm not talking.
Oh wait, you're talking about Eric with a K.
Eric with a K. You're not you, Crock.
Okay.
Eric, we played the Vikings this year. I'm talking about last year. They're actually much better defensively this year. Last year, they were ranked 32nd. They had the worst points differential, and their fraudulent self got exposed in the playoffs. What about that is wrong? Okay.
Well, they're not the Eagles, though. The 49ers aren't playing the Vikings.
Let me go to the next point. Let me go to the next point because
they're not playing the Vikings this week. Let me go to the Vikings earlier this season. They lost.
Hold on. Let me go to the next point. Again, we didn't. I'm not talking about the 2023 Vikings. I was talking about the 2022 Vikings, which is why I said 13-4. Let me go to the last
2022.
Point. Let me go to the last point. When I'm talking about the Eagles, I never said the Eagles team is trash, and I only said their defense is trash, which is a fact. It is a pure fact. And I never said that the Niners are going to blow out the Eagles. I never said nothing about it. And at the end of the day, you're talking about last year Eagles when the last year Eagles team beat us. The last year Eagles had about 5 or 6 different players with 10 plus sacks. They were a much better defense last year than this year. Again, don't misquote me. Don't misuse my words. And if you're gonna say I'm arguing against myself, actually say what I'm talking about. Don't use fake stuff. All right, I'm
Yeah,
out.
but then you explained, you said the Eagles defense was bad, but then you explained all these different reasons why they keep
I
winning.
said
You
situationally,
yourself have admitted that the
sir,
bad defense plus the clutch offense and the timely pass rush
sir.
adds up to a 10-1 record.
I'm
So
I'm
even
giving
with the
them
bad
I'm giving
defense, they
them
are still 10
I'm
and 1.
giving them
And when the
credit.
other guy said, how could their defense be that bad if they're 10 and 1? You explained all the reasons, and you were correct. The offense, Jalen Hurts is clutch in the fourth quarter. The defense gets a timely pass rush. You yourself explained all the reasons why they keep winning despite their bad defense.
Listen,
So
I never said the Eagles was a trash team. Again, you
no,
forgetting my
I
point.
get it. You're saying they have a
Hold
bad
on. Let me
defense,
finish.
but
Let
the
me finish
bad
because I gotta
defense
let these other
and the
people
good
speak.
offense adds up to a 10-1
Okay,
record.
I gotta let these other people speak. But let me just say this again. I never said the Eagles team was trash. I said their defense was trash. Situationally, they are a good football team.
Yeah, but
They
if they're
win.
10 and 1, who
Oh,
cares?
sir, let me
If the
finish.
49ers were 10 and 1 right now, would you care if they had a bad defense?
Sir. I gotta let these other people go. You gotta let me go. I'm about to leave. Again, situationally, the Eagles are a good football team. That's why they're 10 and 1. But we cannot just let that defense go by. Again, the dude said, "Oh, their defense is really good." And I want to see their defense is not that great. That's all I'm saying. We can't come up here and spewing lies. Their defense is not good. You're allowing teams to throw for over 300 yards 5 different times this year. If that was the Niners, all y'all would have been asking for the defensive coordinator to be fired. But what y'all did when I'm not saying anybody on here, but I'm saying
Those okay. Can I ask you those 5 games?
most of y'all would have been calling for
Those 5 games
Steve
where they gave
Wilkes'
up
head.
300-yard
Most
passers.
of y'all would have
What's
called
the
for
Eagles'
Steve
record
Wilkes'
in those
head,
5 games?
sir. Most of y'all would have called for Steve Wilkes' head if he allowed 5 different quarterbacks to throw for 300 yards. Back-to-back games, they have allowed over 150 yards rushing.
When you're winning games, you give up a lot of passing yards because the other team's down. They have to pass the ball.
Sir,
that doesn't mean you're a bad team.
Sir.
I bet you the Chiefs have given up a lot of passing yards too. I bet you all the other winning teams in
No,
the
the
NFL
Chiefs
have given
actually
a lot of
have a
passing
top
yards because
defense
they
in the
take the
All
lead
right,
and then
John.
the
All
other
right,
team
Eric
has
with
to
a
pass.
K.
I'm out of here, Crock.
Chris.
Keep
All right, I love
Sir.
the debate, but I gotta get y'all. I gotta get the
Eric's
next
a
one.
casual
But I
though.
do.
Eric is a casual.
All right, okay.
Shout out to my man in the Air Force. I'm in the Army right now. Like, you know what I mean? These guys are calling each other casuals. You know, we do in the military. We call them civilians. Like, is that just not the most silly thing you've ever seen? Unbelievable. But I just gotta say, you're all casuals as far as I'm concerned. You know, some of you guys, you look at my house. Eric with a K. Okay, you're in your basement. Look at me. Some of you guys went to go get a haircut. You said, I want to look like Michael Jackson. I said, no. I got a body count. I want to look like Eric Crocker. That's what I want to look like right now. I don't even know if I have enough mics. Can you all hear what I'm saying? Because I'm spitting hot fire. But no, man, this is awesome. I appreciate everything. I just want to keep it spicy right now, and I just want to say, 49ers are going to blow out that nothing defense having a team, 31-17. Let's go, Mr. Roscoe. Let's go. I'm not a casual, right?
Now you're not a casual. Keith, how do you see this game playing out? Oh, Keith is the one with the Keith. You got the it's been like buzzing and stuff on your end. I heard it, but I didn't know where it was coming from. But it's coming from your mic, Keith. So you got to fix that for a second. Let's see if we fix. Say something, Keith. Oh no, see, nah. You sound like wow, 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 wow. That's what it sounds.
It's not
was
his
that?
fault. It's the
Charlie Brown?
Barracks Wi-Fi. Is it Boingo? No, that's what it's called. It's called like Boingo. 100%.
This is Donald. That did sound like Donald Duck. That's hella funny. Oh, Daffy Duck. Oh, okay, my bad. All right. Let's see if Keith is. Let's see, Keith, you good?
Still,
Oh,
does
you
it
good
still
now?
sound bad?
Oh no, you're good. Okay, there you go. All right, you're good now.
Okay. Yeah, I see this game. If it's in the weather, I don't really like it. I like it for our defense because I think our defense can play in any weather. You know, a couple years ago, went up to Green Bay, played in the snow, beat Aaron Rodgers. But the rain has just been a different beast for our team, and we've seen Jalen Hurts go out there and put up 35 points in the rain, 37, whatever they put up last week against Buffalo. And I know people keep saying Philly's defense suspect by the numbers, but they've also had a gauntlet of a schedule and played a lot of great quarterbacks with Mahomes, Allen. when we went up against Burrow and Kirk Cousins, how did our defense look? And so, granted, I think we've shored up our defense since we traded for Chase, but this is still going to be a test for us. And if it's clear for first half, I think we're going to win the game. But if it's raining the whole game, I haven't seen where this team is going to get it done. That's just my opinion.
All
And
right.
Croc, I want to ask you this: what do you think about all the chirping that's been going on? Is that like extra fodder for the locker room? And when you played, did you ever have a team or specific players that you just didn't like that you wanted to play well against?
Uh, Not to that extent. I think at the pro level, you get to like play against guys a lot more. You get to learn them a little bit more. I mean, so I ain't really have like that person or team that I just knew like, oh, I can't wait to play against these guys. There was one player specifically, and it happened in the game. We were playing against South Alabama my junior year, and I've never been called so many bitches in the game before. So I mean that I ain't like him, but yeah, I ain't really have too many games like that where it was like a true like rivalry. Like I
Right,
ain't really
right.
have that type of opponent.
So,
I Test Sports, what's up, man? How you doing? Oh, I Test Sports is muted. Did I mute him? Let's see if I can unmute him. Oh, he gone. All right. Well, I will say this. I gotta go work out now. I do appreciate everybody for coming on. We have
Sure.
brought on a lot of people, and
Sir.
I felt like it was cool for the most part because there were a lot of people like, man, this is about to go crazy now. They got 6-7 people on there, but for the most part, it was cool. You had some back and forth. You had a little spiciness, but I definitely appreciate everybody that contributed to the show. I guess score prediction, Gammon. That was your final score, 31-17.
Yes. As Eric Crocker's dual look just like Eric Crocker. Yes, I'm gonna say 31-17.
I see you with the hat, the beard. Okay,
Yeah.
let's go. We got the same house.
Keith, does
Look
your
at that,
first star know that you're in the motor pool streaming right now, sir? Sir,
that's my
sir.
lunch break, man. I can be anywhere.
I'll just
I'm
give you a
actually
hard
at a
time.
schoolhouse, man. I'm an instructor.
Oh, okay. Well, in the Army, yeah, we call it AIT. All right, good stuff. Good stuff.
All
Yeah,
right,
man.
and real quick, Keith,
Yeah, what's up,
prediction on how this game is gonna turn out.
man? I think we really need this game. I'm gonna go 24-14.
21-14. Okay, we
I
got a low
like
scoring game. All right, man. Well, Keith, Gammon, I appreciate y'all coming on.
Hey,
Sir. Sir.
take
Bye,
it
guys.
easy.
Sir,
Sir.
sir. All right, here we go. Last person. We got iTest Sport. He got his mic fixed. He's ready to go, and he's ready to kind of give us a take in the score prediction.
First of all, good afternoon to you both. What's up, Croc?
Good afternoon, sir.
How are you? Let me see. It's about 12. Let me see. It's 9 o'clock over there. You in the West Coast time? Croc?
Yes, sir. 9:21 to be exact.
Wow, bro. I'm just getting up over here. It's 12 o'clock over here, cleaning up, man. But I appreciate you having me on. I haven't spoken to you in a while. It's Eagles week, so I thought, I said, let me search who's talking about Eagles, and sure enough, you was on. So I was like, oh my God, Croc, man. So my 2 cents for this game, I didn't really get a chance to hear. I did hear a back and forth going on, but from what I caught, I think they were just arguing over stats and what they see. You feel me? Like some people will argue numbers, but Croc, you played the game, fool. Numbers don't mean nothing. You feel me? Like you could have the worst numbers in the world, but it's what you see and what you do on that field. You feel me? And what I've seen from the Eagles, even though it's not the same exact cast of characters, it's pretty much the same team, just like we are. They lost Hargrave, they added Jalen Carter. You feel what I'm saying? So that's pretty much the same team that beat us in the championship. Not beat us, but you remember what happened. But we're running up
Beat us.
against the same team. Yeah, that beat us. You could say that, but for me, if it wasn't a fight, I can't really say that they beat you. They won, but they didn't beat you. You feel what I'm saying?
They knocked a guy out. It's not like the guy tripped before the fight.
I get it, but where have you seen that even the backup got knocked out? Like we literally went in there with both hands
That's
tied
why
behind our back, and it had.
I think
Go
that
ahead.
that's why Hassan Reddick is. I think that's why Hassan and Reddick is talking. I think he's like, everyone's acting like this is a fluke. I did this. Like they didn't
Okay,
trip. Like I knocked them out. Like I get credit
here-
for that.
here's the thing with Hassan Reddick. He's played the 49ers before. He's never been, he was on Arizona. Bro, we never heard his
He's like,
name.
he doesn't care about then. Like if you suck and then
Okay,
all of a
but
sudden you knock a guy out, you're like, I did that.
okay,
Come on my credit. Don't act like you fell.
okay,
Don't act like there were gum on the floor. I knocked you out.
but he was being blocked by a tight end. To me, that's a schematic error. You feel me? Like
That's
they
a Kyle
didn't take him
problem.
that.
That's
No,
yeah.
I get what you're saying. I'm not trying to argue. I'm just saying what I feel. You feel what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is Hassan Reddick was never a threat when we played him in Arizona. Then all of a sudden he got around the Eagles and he became a threat. So we're still looking at him like, bro, you wasn't shaking nothing when you was in Arizona. All of a sudden you got some people behind you. Now you want to run your mouth. So to me, I see, you know what I'm saying? I see how he coming, but at the same time, I don't really have that much of respect for him like I would have for Michael Parsons, for Aaron Donald, those type of players. You feel me? You have to scheme around them. Hassan Reddick, they were just treating him like that's Arizona Hassan Reddick. Okay, now that we know, and now that you're talking, you're gonna get our full attention. So to me, win, lose, or draw, Purdy has to come out this game just to exercise some demons as far as like going back to the crime scene, facing that team, and possibly getting hit by Hassan Reddick. That's all Purdy for me. Win, lose, or draw. If they lose this game, but Purdy plays a good game and he could come out that game upright, and you know what I'm saying? Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, it's not an issue with him playing the Eagles because we don't know. We don't know if that hit did some type of psychological damage to him. We don't know if he steps into that game, if all of a sudden he gets the jitters that we haven't seen from Brock Purdy this year. You can say what you want about the 3-game losing streak. Brock Purdy did what he had to do to win the Browns game. The Minnesota game got away from him towards the end. You feel what I'm saying? And the last game, I forgot the last game that they lost.
Bengals.
The Bengals game, I mean, Joe Burrow came out on fire. The defense looked like they were ready for the bye. So, and on top of that, I know it's something nobody wants to hear, but I really think the 49ers took their foot off the brake for them 3 weeks because they knew the stretch that they were going to have. And I know it's hard to say that because it's football and it's hard to kind of like justify that because it's such a hard game to like basketball, you could kind of see when a team is kind of like calling it in. Football, it's not that easy, but when you tell Trent to chill out, you tell Debo to chill out for 3 weeks, you know what I'm saying? And you're basically trying to operate like that. To me, that was their version of getting themselves a bye because out of all the teams that we're talking about, the 49ers have been in the playoffs for the last 4 years, damn near. Yeah, no, 3 years, but they've been making championship, Super Bowl run. That's a lot of football. You feel what I'm saying? So they need those in-season, I call bye weeks. You feel what I'm saying? So to me, this game is going to be a good test for the 49ers, probably the first test of the season, even though they lost 3 games. But this will be the first team that could look them eye to eye and be like, what's up? I don't care about the stats as far as what the stats are saying about Philadelphia's defense because that is a quality defense. Say what you want about Bradbury. That was a hell of a play he made against Buffalo. That's the type of that's the type of stuff that opportunistic defenses can make. Yeah, they might not be number one on the stat sheet, but when the game's on the line, can your defense make that play? And to me, that's a dangerous defense right there. So don't come
I
in
think
that thing half stepping, man.
Yeah, and I'll kind of just end on this. I think at the end of the day, you got to figure out where to win. Like whether and not having Debo, not having Trent Williams for this 49ers team that is so loaded that we feel like has one of the best rosters in the NFL. To me, that shouldn't be the reason why you lose. And I definitely don't think that they were taking like an in-season bye, during actual games. I think they were trying to win those games. I think the defense just did not play well. And the offense didn't play well enough to overcome that. So hopefully in this game, you got everybody 49ers team relatively healthy. You're coming off of a 10-day rest for the most part. You got a longer rest period than the Philadelphia Eagles. They just played a brutal game. And 49ers should be well rested. Yeah. Everybody seems to be pretty healthy. You got to go and you got to handle business and you got to go win. But I Ted Sports, man, I appreciate you coming on.
That's real, man. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great day. All right.
All right. All right. Gammon says, my name henceforth shall be Sir Casual. All right. So now we're going to start calling Gammon Sir Casual. Shout out to Gammon. And shout out to you, Ashley. Appreciate you for coming on. And we had an extended version of this episode today, almost an hour and a half. Can you let everyone know where they can find you?
Everyone go like and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Ashley Ariana. Follow me on Twitter, Ash Ariana. Yeah. Make sure to
All
give me
right.
a
All right.
subscription.
And you guys can follow me on Twitter at Eric_Crocker. All the tweets, Underdog Fantasy, promo code Crocky, all that good stuff. But we'll be back tomorrow with Coach Desi. Until then, I'm out. Peace.